Good day, everyone. For this session, we are to know why do we need to recognize Israel as part of honoring God? Because many of our uh, co many of the people are establishing their own church and not recognizing Israel as part of God's mercy to the people of the world. So in this session and this study, we will know why do we need to recognize Israel as part of honoring God. So let's start the, the reading in Genesis 12:3, and it reads, "I will bless you. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." So this chapter, it is said to Abraham. If you go back to the verse 2, "And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing." So this is said to Abraham way back on Abraham's life. This is a promise from God that God will bless Abraham's lineage, and those that will bless Abraham will also be blessed. So, why do we need to recognize Israel as part of honoring God? When we speak of following God and honoring His people, Israel, we are not inventing a command of our own. We stand on foundation of God's ancient covenant, spoken by His mouth, recorded by His prophets, and preserved in His word. So God called Israel when God first called Abram in Genesis 12. He did not simply give a private blessing. He gave him a mission and formed a covenant that would shape nations. And embedded in that promise is a principle for all generation. Let's see. To bless the descendants of Abraham is not about politics, nations, or human preferences. It is aligning ourselves with God's declared will. So let's see Genesis 17, verse 7. Verse 7. 7. So the covenant was not a one time moment. God confirms it in Genesis 17, verse 7. "And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your offspring after you throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your offspring after you." So here we can see that there's an everlasting covenant from God, and that is to be God to you and to your offspring after you. So notice the pattern. God gives Himself guards the covenant. God Himself guards the covenant. God Himself watches over Abraham's seed. This is why following God includes respecting His chosen purpose for Israel. So we follow God because He is the creator, the lawgiver, and the one who brought Israel out of Egypt. Gave His commandment, gave His covenant to Abraham, and rules over all the nations. And we bless Israel. We bless Israel not because they are perfect, but because God chose them. God made promise to them, and God blesses those who blesses them. To follow God is to honor His word. To honor His word is to honor His covenant, and His covenant begins with Abraham and his descendant. So maybe you will ask, why do we need to honor Israel? Israel already sinned against God. So for that, uh, we have to remember that God forgave Israel. So let's see that. So if we are to understand God's heart toward Israel, we must listen carefully to the prophet Jeremiah. So let's look at Jeremiah 2:13. This one. For my people have committed two evils. They have they have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed out cisterns for the soul, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So Israel forsook the Lord. They worship idols, they broke the covenant again and again. But God calls Israel to return because He is their father. So let's see Jeremiah 3:14. Return, O faithless children, declares the Lord, for I am your master. I will take you, one from a city and two from a family, and I will bring you to Zion. So uh, Israel the Lord wanted Israel to return, for I am your master. So let's see another verse. 322. 322. So, return, O faithless son, I will heal your faithlessness. Behold, he come to you, for you are the Lord our God. So, God really wants Israel to return, and God will heal your faithlessness. Forgiveness is not merely God overlooking sin, it is God restoring what sin broke. So God promises a day of full cleansing. Let's see Jeremiah 31, 31, 34. And no longer shall each one teach his neighbor and each his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall know me from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So this is God speaking about Israel, the same Israel that broke the covenant, the same Israel that was scattered. Yet God says, I will remember their sin no more. So what does it mean? What nation has a God like this? It is Israel's restoration because it comes from God's faithful love. So Jeremiah tells us the first reason for Israel's forgiveness. Now let's see Jeremiah 31 verse 3. The Lord appeared to him from far away. I have loved you with an everlasting love, therefore I have continued my faithfulness to you. So God will continue the faithfulness to Israel. So God will really never reject Israel, even after judgment. Even when Israel is in Babylon, God said through Jeremiah, his disciples, but he does not destroy. He judges, but he does not abandon. So for this one, we can see that we have heard Jeremiah speak of God's unbreakable love and his promise to forgive Israel. But the message did not end there. The Lord expands his theme through the prophets, showing that his mercy toward Israel is not temporary. It is woven in every very character of God. So, as we can see here, the message is clear. Jeremiah teaches us God forgive Israel, God will restore Israel, God will gather Israel, and God plants Israel. And this is why we honor God's people. We honor God's people because their story does not reveal Israel's goodness. It reveals God's goodness. Okay. And let us look at the last verse, Jeremiah 32:39. I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for their own good and the good of the children after them. So clearly, Jeremiah explains that Israel's restoration include an inner transformation, and Israel will not only return to the land, they will return to the Lord with a renewed heart. So that's what we should remember. That the Lord will give them one heart and one way. So this is the end of our study for now. Thank you for listening and God bless.